Greetings, I am Nostalgic Dave Dynasty, also known as Mr. Geek, and I am here to do my first video for the revamped Geek-Stew. Now, Geek-Stew goes back many years. You heard the introductory video from Ike, and right now what I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to do a little bit of a toy opening, toy unboxing, whatever you call it, and review, and I'm going to do it on two of the new Masters of the Universe Origins figures for Skeletor and He-Man. Now, these figures, I've been highly anticipating. I've been looking at them for weeks, perusing the local Walmarts. Finally found these two figures. Now, I haven't found any more of the Wave 1. I haven't found the Battle Cat. I haven't found the Sky Slid. So I'm still watching for those. And but I have found these two figures, and I'm going to open them now. I bought them last night. We're going to open them. We're going to take a look at them. I am a longtime Masters of the Universe fan, dating all the way back from the original inception in '82. That was my wheelhouse time. I was 7 when they were introduced, and I fell in love with everything: the figures, the cartoon, all the merchandise, the comics. I loved it all, and I still am a huge Masters fan. So we're going to open them first. I'm going to start with Skeletor. I'm going to be kind of careful. I'm not a mint and package kind of guy on toys. Depends on what it is. I like to put them out. I like to be able to fill them. I like to be able to put them on my shelf and display them. But I am going to be a little careful with these because I do like to keep the card backs. Because one thing that's always been a cool thing about Masters of the Universe is the card art. This the very retro looking card art in the back. It reminds me of the cards of when I was a kid. But the box art was always a positive thing for Masters of the Universe. Now they do come with a mini comic like the old do. Now I believe they all just come with one comic. It's only, I think, 6-8 pages. It's a little different than used to be because each character had their own unique mini comic. But it is a cool little throwback to have a mini comic in there. Not expecting much quality-wise or content-wise, story-wise out of that. But like I said, it is kind of a neat little retro throwback to have those. So now let me try to get Skeletor out here. Let's see. Skeletor has always been one of my favorite characters in pop culture, period. I love Skeletor. I don't like that a lot of times now Skeletor is simply portrayed as kind of a joke character, you know, and I don't think that's fair. I think Skeletor is a really good character. And if you look at the Masters of the Universe world, I don't think it's just purely that he's a joke kind of character with the laugh and the weird things, and it's what it seems like it's become here recently. So okay, so I have to figure out. Let's start with the accessories, the weapons first. We have his, if I can get it out. We do have his power sword, the Skeletor power sword. It's purple. One cool thing, I like the shapes and the design is a little more I don't want to say detailed, but it's a little different than the old, but I kind of like it. It's looks a little better. It's not as closed off as it was. It's a little more what you envision when you see it. One thing that's cool is it still does have the halfback where it will snap with He-Man's sword. That's the original lore of Masters of the Universe, that the two halves of the power swords would go together to unlock the door to Castle Grayskull. So that's a pretty cool little flashback. Now we have the Havoc staff, which is going to take me a minute to get out because they have wrapped a ton of tape, and maybe I should have been a little more prepared here with this to do this, but unfortunately I'm not there. I got it. So but there is the Havoc staff. It's still pretty sincere to the original. It's got the kind of the ram head or whatever that beast is in the purple. Skeletor would not be complete without the staff. So it's pretty cool. So far so good. Now we do have the figure. One thing that is neat about the Origins is the articulation. In the old, the legs, you had the articulation at the hips, at the shoulders, and then the head and the waist. With the new Origins, you got the same kind of design, the same look of them, but there's articulation at the elbows, at the wrists, at the feet, and at the knees. So it's a little more posable. One thing, the armor and all, the coloring, everything's good. I do like the sculpt of the body. I do like the look. It reminds me a lot of the original with some modern upgrades. The one thing that and I like the head, is the head's not just turnable. It actually, is kind of a ball and socket type thing, or whatever you call it. But the one thing that I do dislike that I've disliked from the moment I saw the first pictures that came is that expression on the face. I don't like the mouth open look for Skeletor. I wish they had done that differently. But it is what it is. Again, not the way I would have went about it. But it is what they chose to do, apparently. So what are you going to do at this point? It is still cool to have this figure. It is still cool to have something that's kind of a throwback. Again, the face sculpt's not... I don't know why they changed it so much. I don't know if they thought it was an improvement. Again, I think it is them pandering to the more comical take that Skeletor has developed on the internet community now. So, again, not a huge fan of the face sculpt on it, but overall, I like the figure. I think it's a good figure. Again, I might overlook a little because I'm such a big fan of Skeletor that I think it's just cool to see something new like this. It's not a Masters Classic figure where it's highly detailed and, where you just, it takes your breath away type deal. Again, I'm opening the He-Man, the same mini comic as in this one, the Beast Barrage. But again, these are not like the Mattel Classics, Masters of the Universe Classic figures that go with a lot of detail and a lot of, that line to me is, probably the greatest toy line out there. And it went on for many years. And hopefully, with some of the recent announcements, we're going to get some, because it says they're going to do 7-inch figures, which is in scale with that. So hopefully we're going to get some figures much like that in the coming years, in 2021. But again, as hard as it is to find these origins and everything that's going around now, hopefully the distribution on that will be a little better. But that's the problem with just toy collecting in general. So now I got the He-Man open. And let's start with the accessories, the weapons. We have the He-Man Battle Axe, which is very cool. Not something more out of the mini comics and things like that. You didn't really see this much in the Filmation cartoon, but He-Man is not complete as a figure without a battle axe. So, it's pretty cool. And his shield. Another thing you didn't really see in Filmation much, but it was in the mini comic and some of the other things with the orange coloring, like the original. Not bad. I like the shield. I think it's well done. And then there's the He-Man power sword. Again, just like Skeletor's, same articulation, but in the silver gray color. Again, with the snap back so that the two can snap together. Form one. You can see this one has the male inserts for the snap. So that's a cool little throwback to it. Now the He-Man figure himself. Again, the body sculpt is very reminiscent of the old He-Man with the armor. It has a place, for the sword or the battle axe on his back in his armor, which is kind of a neat thing. Because, he does come with 3 accessories and can't hold them all. The one hand is clearly not made to grip. He has the same articulations as the Skeletor, as all the Origins figure were. Again, I'm not super impressed with that face sculpt and the coloring. Okay, the face sculpt's a little weak, a little lazy to me. The hair coloring, I don't really care for it. I think it's way too blonde. I wish they would have darkened it a little bit, more in line with the old figure. I'm not sure we have, these red square markings on his power vest, which I think was on the old one, but they're also on the back, which I'm not sure where that's coming from. That seems different to me. Maybe someone can comment, and maybe I'm just haven't noticed that on anything. So, but it does have the classic He-Man, the super muscle. Again, these are about a $15 price point. They're available only at Walmart now. So all in all, they're not bad figures. I think part of the issue is you have people out there who have the original line, right? And then some of these people that have the classics line. And some of those people are going to look at this and say, yeah, there's really not anything there that entices me to go and invest and collect and buy a third line. And I get that. Now, the thing is, when you have someone like me who has some of the original line, but I don't really have any classics figures. I never did. I never jumped on the classics. I do wish I had at time, back when they were a subscription thing and you got them every month, but I didn't. So I don't have classics figures. So this, to me, I like it. I love seeing them. I like the toy spot. I like to go out and try to hunt down toys. And for me to walk into a Walmart and walk in the aisle, see these hanging on pegs and be excited. Are the figures perfect? No, but it does give me that youthful excitement that I had as a kid, when I would run to the toy department to look for the toys I like. So that is my review of the new Masters of the Universe Origins figures for Skeletor and He-Man. Hopefully I will be able to get the other figures in the near future, along with Battle Cat, Sky Sled, and all the future things in the line. So thank you for watching. Make sure you check out all the other videos on Geek-Stew. Follow Geek-Stew on Facebook and on Twitter. On Twitter, Geek-Stew can be found at geek_stew. And you can follow me personally at Mr. Geek Dave or at the Dave Dynasty. Now, the Dave Dynasty one is primarily professional wrestling. So if you're a professional wrestling fan, check that out. And you can also check out a podcast that I do with Ike here from Geek-Stew. It's the Dave Dynasty Show, where we do cover professional wrestling. So if you're into that, check that out. Thanks for watching. Until next time, be good, be safe, and keep on growing.